It's Kevin with Mallard Painting. Today we are talking about Hardie Plank siding. It's fiber cement, and basically what you have here is you have cement siding that's nailed into wood framing. And the wood framing, when it gets hot and cold, it likes to expand and contract, and this cement siding isn't moving. It's actually the wood framing behind the wall. And then what you have over the years is this caulking getting expanding, contracting, and tearing this caulking open. Now, this home is pre-2012. Anything after 2012, is code here in Oregon that you put a piece of metal flashing, the siding goes over the metal flashing, and you don't caulk this. It expands and contracts over the metal. Now, anything prior to 2012, you know, we're kind of left with this caulking here. So Mallard Painting has kind of come up with the best option to seal these, and we've had some very good success with it. So first thing we want to see, we see some old caulking here, and so I'm going to take my knife and kind of just V-notch this, and you can see this old caulking just kind of pulls out of here. We're going to kind of get rid of that, and I might shave this off a little bit and just kind of clean that up. Next thing we're going to want to do is take some tape, and I like to put the tape back a little bit from the side on each side, just like so, and do something like that. And the caulking that we use is a product that Sherwin Williams makes. It's called Loxon H1. It's a polyurethane caulking, so solvent-based caulking. It's very sticky and messy, hence why we tape, so we can make a nice cleaner line. This is a lot like melted marshmallow to run with. So, you know, keep a lot of rags. And this very expensive caulking, the H stands for hybrid. The hybrid means it's ready to be painted 24 hours later. Most other polyurethane caulkings are 7-day dry time. So as a painter, it doesn't really work for me to put the caulking on and then come back in 7 days. So we like this Loxon H1. So first thing I'm gonna do here is push the caulking back into this crack a ways. Okay, and next thing I'm gonna do is, the reason why I put my tape back a ways is because I kind of want to make a bridge over this whole thing and leave some material, some thickness on the surface. The thickness is going to give it some material to expand and contract with, so it doesn't rip immediately. If your painter is using water-based caulking, chances are, if it's not a very high quality water-based caulking, it's going to tear within 2-3 years. This polyurethane stuff is going to last the life of the paint. So I'm actually, you can see I'm putting on a nether bead over the surface, a little bit on the bottom here. And I always like to keep a nice rag with me and pull this way, pull back the other way. Okay, so now we have a nice bridge. Now I'm just going to smooth it out with my thumb here. And the other nice thing about this is if you're training a team, you can easily teach a team to do this and make nice clean lines on your siding. So right here we have a really nice caulk, lots of material. This is going to expand and contract with the house without tearing and keeping the water from intruding and getting behind the siding. So here's the finished product. Some people don't like the hard edge, so if you don't like the hard edge, you can give it one more wipe after you pull the tape. I don't mind the hard edge. My customers don't mind the hard edge. I think it looks nice and clean. There is another scenario here where you see this line here. It's just a hairline crack on it here, and you know, this is one that you're not going to need to cut out any caulking. This one here is just a small hairline crack where we would apply the tape over the surface and then just go ahead and apply the caulking right over the top of this to give it some more material before we paint. All right, the last scenario we're going to talk about here is this little crack right there. And this happens a lot. So basically what's happening here is the original cider put this on. This side or the other side was like raised and sitting up and looked funny. So what the cider would do is they would go boom, boom, and put the two nails in to hold the edges of the siding down so that it could be caulked. But what ends up happening when you corner nail like that is you end up getting this right here. You end up seeing this little hairline crack. So there's two ways to deal with this. The way that we deal with it, there's two options. We'll do exactly the same. We'll put the tape on both sides. We'll caulk down the middle, pull our tape, and then we might run another little side bead here and just cover that so it doesn't fall off, crack any further, and then there's no way that moisture can leak in behind. Now, if you have a customer that wants perfection, then obviously you will need to remove that piece of siding by taking a Sawzall and cutting the nails above the board and below it. Remove this piece, slice your caulking on either side, remove this piece and replace it with a fresh piece, and prime it and paint it. Perfectly caulked Hardie Plank wall. We got all our Loxon butt joints caulked in. This is going to dry for a day or two, and then we're going to come in and mask this thing off and make this wall beautiful.